Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Life After Lockup, Season 5, Episode 45.
Let's subscribe. Let's comment. Let's share. Let's like the video. Blair, you ready to walk us through this?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
We are starting with Bianca and Daniel.
Okay.
So Daniel gets back from the meetup with his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
He asks for some water. She says no. He
Wow.
can get it himself. And she says, that's what you did to me. So he goes ahead and gets himself some water.
Man, you talk about on hots.
Mm.
It's funny because she's pointing this out, completely overlooked the fact that he cooked the breakfast.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
So David asked her, does she think... Daniel asked her, does she think that she has a problem with alcohol?
Mm-hmm.
And Bianca tells him that she didn't say that, and she was just... And Robert was drunk, so you probably really can't listen to whatever Robert was saying.
Mm-hmm.
But she does, stand 10 toes down that she likes to drink.
Mm-hmm.
He brings up the foreplay comment that she made to Robert. She's glad that she talked about how he wasn't being romantic. She says that she's told him this to his face before, and she does need more intimacy. Well, he tells her that he will try to be more romantic.
Yeah.
He just coming from prison, being around all these guys, that's not something that he's been doing a lot.
Okay.
He asked her if she's codependent. He always had to be on the tablet when he was in prison, and she would join Facebook groups to try to investigate if he was talking to other women.
What?
And the coffee reminded him of it. He was just trying to protect himself of things repeating as far as like her overbearingness. And he was trying to show her that he wasn't going to do everything for her.
Blair, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I said, can I ask you a question? I need 2 yeses.
I said, sure.
Okay,
yeah.
I need, this is my saying. So
Okay.
I need you to be a participant in the show,
here.
please.
I'm
Okay,
here.
thank you.
Yes.
Do you think Daniel using Bianca?
Yeah, but I think they're using each other.
Yeah, I think Daniel's using Bianca just off the strength of there's no way you could be with a girl who treats you this way.
Yeah.
There's literally no way you can feel good about yourself being with someone who treats you like trash like this.
Right.
There's literally no way. And I'm just like, hey, bro, whatever you think you could get out of Bianca, you probably was better off going home to your mama.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Outside of the sex and things of that nature. But I'm just like, oh yeah, he don't love this girl. He can't. She's unlovable. like he can't love this girl. There's no way. Because the minute that she brought up that coffee again, I would have crashed out.
Yeah.
I would have crashed out. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I just think that Daniel, for his safety, he needs to leave Bianca. I've been saying it this whole time. That's why I moved on to Z, because I'm just like, I can't tell. He ain't listening to me. I told him twice to leave the girl. So, hey. Well, she looks through his box from prison, and there are photos of her, letters that she sent, and he tells her that she really did help him get through his time. A proposal would make her feel confident in the situation. He doesn't agree with that, but he's willing to compromise.
Yeah.
Pretty much this little promise ring that he got her. So he has the ring when they go on a walk. She doesn't like how he's walking and pulling her, and he's trying to express to her that it's just a lot for him being out in the open space.
Yeah.
He's not used to this. Looks like he's, having a panic attack, actually. She says that she doesn't want to argue with him, but she just doesn't understand what's wrong with him.
Yeah, it was kind of awkward, but he's like, hey, I'm like, it looked like he was losing his mind a little bit, to be honest. Or like the walls was closing in, even though he was out in the open space. And Bianca, always gonna make it about Bianca.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like if he was pulling you away, or if you ain't like the way how he was holding your hand, just let go of his hand and just walk next to him. It's just that plain and simple.
Yeah. So they talked about this fear of his before he left prison, and she is just realizing now that it's not going to be a normal relationship.
Yeah.
He's freaked out by the open sky and all this space. It's just a lot. And she comes over to ask him, like, what did I do? I started crying. It's not about you right now.
It's not.
He said that he was overwhelmed. She started cussing, pulling away, and maybe it's hard for her to understand, but it is a lot for him. She apologizes for upsetting him, but he clarifies that it wasn't you. Like, it's nothing that you did. He didn't expect for this to happen, and he's ready to go home. So they hug it out, and they get ready to go back home. And now she's realizing that his PTSD is worse than she imagined. She now knows that it's not going to be as easy as she thought.
All this, and she didn't even get the ring that was in his pocket. Like that's the crazy part about all of this, is that even though he's being treated the way he's being treated, and things of that nature, he's still gonna propose to this girl. And I'm just like, are you using her? And I understand, like, we can look at Bianca and just easily just read her and be like, yeah, you're unlovable, you're kind of evil, you're kind of like kind of vindictive, like you're all those things. But Daniel, like to be with someone like this, what do you get out of this? And that's just, now I'm looking at Daniel like, to be a man in your position, as Blair would say, you're risking your freedom every time you with this girl. Literally. You're risking your peace of mind every time you with this girl.
And your life.
So it's like, what is it that's more valuable than that you getting out of this? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So moving on, Kerok and Britney. The PO does not recommend that she get married to Kerok because it's a chance that since you guys were denied before, it may look like fraud.
Yeah.
Britney doesn't see how that would be fraud. She loves him. She wants to marry him. So she's not going to tell Kerok about what the PO said, and she's going to go ahead and continue to get married.
Oh, listen, there is something about not being transparent that got them in this situation in the first place. So she just like, we just go do what we're going to want. We're going to do what we want to do anyway.
And honestly, I felt like she shouldn't have told the PO.
Exactly.
I felt like if this is your life, this isn't anything against your, what you call it? Parole. Like, this is nothing that you really need to run by your PO. I get what the friend was saying as far as you might want to check with the PO just to make sure like this is okay. But the thing is, the PO is not going to know until Texas approves or denies y'all.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, her life doesn't need to stop. She doesn't need to not marry her boyfriend because of what Texas might think.
Yeah.
She wants to marry him, and if this is their last shot to possibly get to Texas together, I think it's the best shot they have, honestly.
It's the only shot they have, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, Britney is stressed that she would like a big wedding, but they're going to do the small wedding. And Kerok can pick up on how she's feeling. This is the morning of the wedding. They are at the ceremony in front of the officiant, and Britney says that she needs to tell him something before they start. So she pulls him aside, and that's where we, kind of leave on a cliffhanger on their segment.
What do you think she got to tell him?
Probably what the PO said.
Probably.
Yeah.
All this build up just for her to just say what we already know.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And then Kerok's going to be like, well, we're still going to do it. And she's like, yeah, we are.
Okay. Thank you.
Next, we get to Zaria and Troy. We find out that shortly after their visit with her parents, the parents' house caught on fire.
Oh, no.
The first thing she thought about was her son, because her son spends a lot of time with his grandparents on the weekend. But thankfully, everyone got out of the fire safely.
Yeah.
So they drive up to the house to see the aftermath of the fire, and it's not as bad as they thought it would be. It was one room, and I think she said it was her brother's room that caught fire.
Yeah.
And there was like debris, but the house for the most part was pretty much still intact. And all she can think about is how the medium predicted this. Now she's feeling the medium has been right about all these other things. She's probably right about our relationship, and maybe we won't make it.
Yeah.
And Troy is sitting right next to her talking about, I'm sitting right here. Like, you sound silly. Like, this is dumb. So, but yeah. But to me, I think that Z is going to be the downfall of the relationship.
She is the downfall of the relationship.
If you're going to this medium and you're allowing this medium's predictions to impact your actions, you're going to drive the relationship into the ground. Appreciate and enjoy Troy for being there for your family, stepping in and, coming home and doing the right thing. And all she can think about is the medium saying they're going to break up. So
because she don't want to do the work to have a good relationship. She want to wish that the relationship is good. So she ain't do the work to make sure that they that like the money was good for their job and for their house and things of that nature. She doesn't do the work. So instead of doing the work, she goes and try to guess the future. You get what I'm saying? As if it's like just supposed to happen. So Z is definitely going to be the downfall of their relationship and things of that nature. We saw how she crashed out in Love After Lockup or one of those shows and things like that, to where when he wanted to see his child, and the first time he's going to see her in like 7 years and things like that, she crashed out for no reason. That's not the psychic fault. That's a personality flaw. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
So her dad takes Troy to the church because they're going to have their first Project Hill community event at the church. Yeah. And the dad talked about how it was an electrical fire, and they're currently staying at a hotel just trying to figure things out.
Listen here, I hope y'all ain't trying to scam y'all own house trying to get some money. I hope. I really do.
I didn't. honestly, that didn't even cross my mind.
No,
I was just like, this is a tragedy.
What? Like you thought it was a tragedy?
Yes, that the house caught on fire. I'm just like, imagine all the things like people can lose as far as like family heirlooms and like photos and just everything, like your comfort. I was just like, this is a tragedy.
I guess I ain't think of that because family. What is it called? Family heirlooms? Yeah, I'm a minimalist.
Okay.
So like is yeah. Things go. In my head, I'm just like out of all the times, like now. But that's just me being a pessimist. You get what I'm saying?
That's the city in you.
You know what I mean? Just being like, hey, out of all the times this house been up, now electrical fire. Oh, okay, I see you.
Well, Z's mom hasn't been returning her phone calls.
Okay.
Her mom, according to Z, feels that she entered the devil's playground and opened up a can of worms from the psychic.
Yeah.
So basically, Z brought this fire onto the family's house.
Yeah.
So she ends up getting on the phone with her mom, and the mom says, we don't fool with that kind of stuff as people of God. It is witchcraft.
Okay.
Back to Dad and Troy. He is doing a walkthrough to show how they're going to set everything up for Community Day. And it actually sounds like really fun. Like they're going to have a bouncy house and like chairs and like food, a grill. I was just like, that looks like a great time. Anyway.
You are easily impressed. You're not going to get in the bouncy house yourself. So I'm just
like, this is nice for the kids. I was like, this sounds like a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So Troy has been fighting temptation to make this fast street money.
Yeah.
Then they get inside the church and the dad asks him, show me how you would give a sermon.
Oh my goodness.
Troy talks about his father's passing and how he feels that his stress impact his father's health and possibly helped lead to his father's death.
Yeah.
But he got through it. He got through prison. He's on the other side and he's doing a lot better now. And the dad tells him that, out of all the ministers in training, like you're probably the most honest that I've seen. Troy doesn't want to be a minister, but he thinks that he has a voice that can help a lot of people.
Listen here, I know I said we're going to come over here and play in this little community outreach thing, but let's play a game. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to sit here in the pew, like basically in the audience, and let's say you're just giving like a sermon, but let's not call it a sermon. Let's say a speech, right? But stand right here and put on this little pastor robe I got for you and just let me know how that speech would sound. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Look, Troy went up there and talked about his life. No one knows his life better than he does.
Right.
So, like, of course it's going to sound real,
Yeah. No, I thought that the dad is determined to get Troy to be a minister at that church. He was planning it before he even got out of prison. So he was like, yeah, I'm gonna see how I can get him up here into this pulpit. We're going to make it do what it do. So Z and her mom have a chat. Z is grateful that her family is safe. Then the conversation turns into being excited about planning the wedding.
Yeah.
And she wants to see how her parents are going to help.
The audacity.
The mom says, we are going to talk about, what we're going to do to help. She says, we definitely are going to help you with the wedding. She talks about how she wants her bio dad to walk her down the aisle. And the mom is like, as long as your dad is on the other side. Her bio mom gave her up when she was 16. She has developed a good relationship with her bio father. She met him and his family about a year ago. As far as her bio mom, when she turned 18, she found her mother, and her mom was not happy that she reached out. She said she had a closed adoption for a reason.
What are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts is that Zeruiah has amazing parents. Her adoptive parents are outstanding. These people just went through a house fire and they're still going to show up to help throw this community event for them. Z touched briefly on the fact, I'm happy y'all alive, but how you going to help me with this wedding? I'm just like, can you give your mom a couple of days? Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I just look at it to say like she was blessed to be into this family that really loves, cares, and provides for her. So she's really blessed. Yeah.
I like the fact that when she said she want her bio dad to walk her down the aisle, the mother was like, well, as long as your dad is on the other side of you. She was like, no, like dad's not gonna be on the other side because he's gonna marry me and things like that. I'm about to say something cold, boy. I'm about to get real cold. This interaction right here kind of lets me know, like, oh, you're adopted. They kind of pity you, in my opinion. I think a lot of times, I wonder if her parents, the pastor and the wife and things like that, would be so loving and forgiving and be so graceful if that was their bio daughter. But I think because she was adopted and like her backstory, the mother didn't want her, the father's in and out and things like that, that they just been basically raising Z through love.
Yeah.
And when raising someone through love, you kind of forego some of the other things. That's why she could fall in love with someone that's in prison, and they were supported. Mm-hmm. That's why they could come and ask for, hey, you know, even though I'm like kind of a hellion in the family, help us with the wedding. And they was like, you know what? You're adopted. We gonna love you. We gonna love you. You get what I'm saying? Oh, you know we don't like that witchcraft and stuff like that, but you're adopted. And we're just gonna love you. And I wonder, would that be the same if it was actually like someone that came from you? Because it's like, I think even though you are my child, she has Z when she adopted Z when Z was very young. There is something to where it's like, but my DNA ain't in this person. So like, she's not me, and I have to accept that when she grows up, that she may be into psychics. You get what I'm saying? Because I could keep her in the church, but she's not me. You get what I'm saying? I sure can do everything that, like, basically show her the right way and things like that. But she go like who she likes because she ain't me. You get what I'm saying? And I always have to lead with love because she comes from adoption. That's why I think Z gets away with a lot of things with them.
Possibly, yeah.
That's why they would drive up and basically be with Troy when he gets out from prison. That's why, like, a lot of Z gets a pass on a lot of things because of her story. And I'm like, I've been around church folks and stuff like that. And I'm like, this explains. This is why it's like, we gonna help you because we want you to feel the love and we want to basically be the good in your life. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's in you, not on you, you know?
So we get to Kim and Joey.
Yeah.
Y'all, I want to know the paternity results. I'm tired of weeks and weeks and weeks going by, and I don't know who the daddy of this baby is.
Truth be told, I forgot. Okay, I forgot they took the
every
test.
week. I'm just like, are we going to find out? And every week it's a no.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens this week. So Kim and Joey are out for a date.
Okay.
She tells him how she went dress shopping with Tatum. And she talked to him. Basically, she was just like, yeah, Tatum was still, you know, she was supportive, but she was still a little bit upset. And then Joey was just like, oh, yeah, she's crazy and, you know, lying and all this type of stuff. So she talks to Joey about how the divorce is not final. He says, you know, you have to file for a divorce. Did you file for divorce? Like, where are you at in the process? He says, we can't do anything until you do that. He gets up, goes for a smoke break, and he thinks maybe she might have her ex on the back burner because he doesn't understand why she would not file for divorce.
Probably can't afford it.
He doesn't know if she's scared or stupid. And Joey says he is not going to get a job to pay for half of a house that her husband could be entitled to. I agree with the second half of that. Don't pay for half of a house that the husband could be entitled to, but Joey, get a job. Don't use that as an excuse to not be employed. Get a job.
I'm definitely using that as an excuse. But the sad part about it is, I don't know where they live. It's kind of look rural in a way.
Yeah.
Whatever job Joey get, he may be making more money than her.
Possibly, yeah.
like I think she made like $15, maybe $60 an hour.
And she needs help.
She needs another job. Like that's something. Help is different. You get what I'm saying? Like she needs another job. And Joey, listen here, I know what you're doing, brother. He's like, what you over here trying to tell me to get a job? You get a divorce. So you just brought Joey more months of him basically every time you telling him to get a job, he go like, you get a divorce yet?
Yeah. I'm
not gonna get a job and pay for a house that the husband can be entitled to. I'm like, listen here, man. Whatever you got to do to keep your freedom. But Joey would go take your car and go put some rims on like that truck, though. It just, listen here, Joey is a mess.
So Kimberly apologizes. He tells her that as soon as we get home, you setting up an appointment with a lawyer. Joy is saying that the lying has to stop. And then he's just like, well, we all lie. Everybody lies. And we got to stop lying to each other.
Okay.
I was just like, yeah, because you sure didn't tell her that you went to the park to meet up with your ex.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's all stop lying.
He's like, as a community, we have to be better.
Right. So we get to Melissa and Louie. He talks about how he wants to be a trainer full time. He has a date night planned for him and Melissa. He did listen to what Melissa said when, you know, he threw the pizza on the ground and she threw the wet washcloth at him in the face. But he was listening, and he is going to make some time to plan a date for her.
Okay.
All of his clients are women.
All of them.
And people compare training the client to sex because you get so hot and bothered.
Stop right there. You don't have to get hot and bothered now. Like, you really don't.
As a trainer, you don't gotta get hot at all.
Truth be told, I've seen trainers who don't even do the exercises, who just be like, do this, right? Who don't even touch them. Joy was kind of demonstrating how he trains, and he's behind the woman. I'm like, okay. I mean, not Joy. What is my man's name?
Louie.
Louie was showing how he do it with the trainer. I mean, with the client behind him and stuff like that.
Oh, I ain't never had no trainer.
I'm like, you don't have to be behind them. You can just show them first, and then let them do it. But so I think she has a valid reason to feel how she should feel when it comes to Louie. Because Louie, all women, there ain't no fat man around. You know, I hear you.
So Melissa gets the okay from her boss to leave work early. Her friend shows Melissa the video of him training and touching the lady. And Melissa's like, see, that's why I get upset. That's not professional. She doesn't want to seem jealous, but it's hard not to think the worst because she's experienced being cheated on, even though it was never Louie who did it to her. Yeah. Well, it's the day of the proposal. Him and his friend go to the beach to carve out marry me, and I think in a heart, like in the sand, and he's going to propose to her at the lighthouse. Melissa is late to meet Louie, but she eventually does arrive. He takes her to the lighthouse, and the whole way she's complaining. She's like, you know, this is the issue with you, Louie. You don't plan. You got me walking up all these steps. You didn't tell me to wear comfortable shoes. Like, you could have communicated this a bit better. So he gets to the top. He shows, well, number one, she is afraid of heights. So and she was like, I've seen enough. I'm good. And so he has to walk her around to where she can see the proposal in the sand. He proposes, and she says yes.
He was better off just showing it to her like in front of her. I think I didn't like the whole lighthouse plan. I ain't like the bars, right? And on top of that, you want a view. I'm thinking if you go take somebody high, the view got to be worth it. You don't tell them to look down and squint. You get what I'm saying? You don't see that heart? It says, I love you. Will you marry me? But, you know, she says yes. And I really don't know where they go from here. Because now we know Louie ain't got no money. Because, like, she's wearing it now. You get what I'm saying? And I seen the ring. And I'm like, trust me, you could have got a smaller ring that looked the exact same. She wouldn't even know the difference. She wouldn't even know the difference. What is your thoughts on this episode?
Well, to touch on Louie and, what's her name? I didn't like the proposal. And the main reason I didn't like the proposal is because she didn't like the proposal.
Really?
If you know your woman and you know she's afraid of heights and you know she's not into the physicality of all the steps and all these things, I can imagine he probably thought he was doing something so good and so amazing. But she was afraid. This was not a fun experience for her until she got the ring. But I'm just like, don't you want her to, you know, I'm not telling him how to do the proposal, but if you wanted to do something high, maybe on a rooftop at a dinner to where she didn't have to look down at the ground and be afraid about falling. So I just felt if, you know your lady, do something that you know she would like. And I think that goes to Marissa, even though she complains as much as she does, which she could probably do better on doing. It's just the point of the fact that Louie, like, you're not paying attention to me. Like, you're not considering my likes and dislikes when you're creating these plans. So I kind of feel her on that. Well, but hey, it turned out good.
I can't afford a rooftop dinner because you're wearing it. You're wearing it. Like, that's why he took.
Then they couldn't go to the park or something. She's scared of heights.
I understand that, right? Like, but my whole thing is, if they was to get high and the view was worth it, I think she would have been good, right? And the thing about it is, I don't know, it's something about men to where we gonna make you mad when we know we gonna make you real good in the process.
It's weird.
So it's like when people are about to propose, I ain't do this, but when people are about to propose, I'm gonna make you the maddest that day just so the payoff could be like, voila. You get what I'm saying? It just we see it all the time and things of that nature. But I really don't know where Melissa and Louie's story go from here. I really don't. But let us know what you think about this episode. This episode was kind of blah. You know what I'm saying? But let us know what you think in the comments. Subscribe, like, share. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Yep, there we go. That's for all the above. Anything else you like to give your opinion on this episode?
That's all I got.
Y'all be good. We see y'all next week.
Bye.